All right, it's now 6 past the hour, so maybe we can get started. Still waiting on a couple of people from the Hyperlight team. Um, so if maybe Doru, Ludwig, or Adam, if you three could ping the other folks, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. Hello.
We got a bit of a sore throat today, so bear with me. Okay, I'll share my screen. Then we can get started. Okay, you should be hopefully seeing my browser window with the meeting notes. So with that, if someone else could help with taking notes during the meeting, I'd appreciate it. For other folks or everybody in the call, we keep track of attendance as well. So I'll make a new item here off the template. Oops, looks like I have to log in. Let me sort that out first, and I'll reshare. And I'll share also the HackMD link in the chat. Okay. All right. So now we are logged in. Copy this. Okay, yeah. So just as I was saying, please add your names in here, perhaps the company that you're from. I also see that we have two new folks on the call, so maybe we can just do live intros. Vineet, hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I can start. So, hey, my name is Vineet, and I am working as a software engineer at DocuSign, based in the Bay Area. Just found out about this project recently, and I am interested in learning more about the project and in the future contributing to the project as well. I've also joined the Slack channel. So, yeah, I'll just keep on learning more about the project and hopefully in the near future have some contributions as well. It's nice to meet everyone.
Awesome. Yeah, welcome, Vineet. I saw we also had Shailesh. Would you
Hi.
like to introduce yourself? Maybe say how you came across Hyperlight?
Yeah. Hi. I'm Shailesh Vashisht. I am joining for the second time, and yeah, I have tried to make one contribution, and I am also learning about this project. And
Gotcha.
yeah, so
Yeah, I think I remember you from last time, so glad to have you back.
thank you.
Cool. So with that, just wanted to remind folks that we operate under the CNCF Code of Conduct. So if you have any questions about that, you can probably check out the link in our community meeting notes. So this is usually the section where we'd go through announcements and discussion items. I think this week might also be a little bit lighter, mostly because a bunch of folks that are Hyperlight maintainers were meeting up in person at our office for a team up event. So we have an open floor if folks would like to discuss any particular items or have announcements that they would like to go through. I don't know if Doru, Adam, Ludwig, if you guys been working on anything cool that maybe you'd like to demo or go through? If not, we can probably just go through our usual retrospective or going through our milestone and backlog grooming.
I want to say something. So I don't have a demo prepared, so I'll just talk about it. So I've been working on enabling guest tracing on Hyperlight, which means we want to allow the guest binaries to uh, define their traces, spans, and events. So, and we could expose them outside of the guest and um, for the host side to emit them. And this work is in review now in an open pull request. So I would encourage new people or anyone who wants to have a look at it. And you can't hear me? I think it's the headphones. Yeah, so what I wanted to ask was maybe someone can have a look and give me a review or some ideas. To notice this is an incremental effort to uh, get the tracing set up to a more from a development version of tracing we had to a more, let's say, professional production ready version. Yeah, so this is all I wanted to say. Thanks.
Cool, thanks, Dora. Do you want to share the link of your PR maybe in the chat?
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, any other discussion items? Going once, going twice. All right, if not, we can go through our milestone. We should be now, we try to do train releases for Hyperlight. So our train schedule is monthly basis. So what that means is that well, every month we'll do releases, and whatever can't make it in, we'll just catch the next train. And we're approaching the end. Well, we've already approached the end of September, so this would now be the end of one of our milestones. So let's maybe check that out. And by the way, this is the PR that Dora was mentioning that could use some reviews. Okay. So going through our issues, the first thing that we usually do is we check our if there are any issues with the needs review item. This is something that's assigned by GitHub automatically, issues that are newly created, something that we should, or that people can assign when they want it to be discussed in one of these meetings. So I'll just go through them maybe one by one, and we can discuss them. So new folks in the meeting, if you like to, by the way, have an issue discussed, just add the needs review, and this would be the time that we would go over it. First one, we have Adam. This is a memory leak in guest or on error calling host function. Anything you wanted to discuss there?
Nothing really to discuss there. I believe if you scroll down, I think Ludwig, yeah, linked that in his PR. This PR that Ludwig opened should resolve this. So hopefully that should be resolved when Ludwig's PR gets in. But yeah.
Cool. I'll mark it as confirmed then. That should be good to go. I guess we probably assign it a milestone as well. I'll set it in 010 and we can discuss it once we go through that. Next one is from Ludwig. Ensure Hyperlight is compatible with custom Rust panic handlers. Anything you wanted to chat about there?
No, not really. I don't think this is urgent, but I think it would be good to just add a test for this or something like that.
Okay. I'll remove the need review. You mentioned it's not urgent, so do you feel like this is something that we can put in the backlog?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next issue is from Jorge. What are the backwards compatibility guarantees for guest binaries? I'm not sure if Jorge's in the call today. I don't know if anyone else has context here.
Yeah, I think this is just like, let's say you build a binary with like Hyperlight guest library 09. Can you run it in 010? Do we make any guarantees? And currently we don't make any guarantees at all, but I think it would just be useful to put this in a doc somewhere that we don't promise any kind of forward or backward words guarantees currently. But I think we should at some point maybe consider it. Yeah,
Okay.
I think this is mostly documentation for now.
Sure. I'll let needs info instead of needs review so we can discuss this some more. And then also area documentation.
Yeah, this is also a little bit related to we had an internal conversation recently about documentation, and the stuff with like outb and whatnot does seem like something where some more high level documentation could maybe exist. I don't know if we have any, and I'm not aware of it.
Documentation for outb, you say?
Yes, correct. Or in particular, like the registered IO like actions that you could perform, or that a guest can perform.
Yeah, I can't really recall us having documentation on it other than the fact that we use outb as a mechanism for VM exits.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, it would be helpful to have documentation there though. Yeah. Then for Horus item, we'll maybe add it in an upcoming for now so we don't lose track of it. Next needs review item we have is consider adding some kind of poison sandbox state to prevent sandbox misuse. Can you give some context there, Ludwig, or discuss it anyway?
Yeah, so for example, if the guest panics, we don't unwind, we abort, which means heap allocations just stay allocated. And so next time you enter into the guest, you will have leaked some memory because there's no way to uh, free up that memory. So um, it's not, I don't think it's clear to a user who's using Hyperlight that, oh, I leaked memory here. They probably won't know. So I think we should consider some kind of poison the state that we can see here. So let's say you panic and you try to call a guest function. Maybe it won't work, and it will say you need to clear the poison first. This is unsafe because you might have leaked memory. Just something like that, right? I'm not exactly sure what it would look like yet.
So this is a consequence of our new API, right? Where we don't clean by default all the time?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this something you're planning to work on, or where do you feel like we should probably place this in terms of milestones? Seems like two might want to work on soon.
Yeah. Maybe put in upcoming.
Yeah. I'll make a jump ahead a little bit and I'll create our new milestone for 11 and let's say October 29th. Oh, that issue's gone now. Uh, I'll set it in 11. Okay. All right, next we have sandbox disallowed syscall 318 get random from Dora. Do you want to discuss something there?
Yeah, so this happens on my machine at least when you set the max log level to trace and enable all the filters for Hyperlight host and everything from the host side. And the process created by us inside with seccomp rules gets violated because it tries to create unique IDs for the spans that are created inside that process. It happens on the host side, but it happens for the process that is inside that has the seccomp rules. So yeah, I think this can be easily solved, but we would need some conditionals there.
Okay.
I think we also are looking towards removing seccomp.
Yeah, then
So that might take care of this as well. I think Simon is going to look into that if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Also, in the meantime, get random doesn't seem something too wild if you want to add it to our list of default allowed syscalls. So that would also be something to look into.
okay.
Okay, and I'll add it to 11 if Simon's looking at this soon. Might be fixed. Okay, next one is from Ludwig. FPU tag word reset to wrong value.
Yeah, it's also going to get fixed soon. There's a PR for it. Or actually, I think
Okay.
there's 2 PRs for it.
You want to add
yeah.
some context there?
Yeah, so basically some registers, some floating point registers have default values. This floating point registers, like the legacy behavior is that they're used as a stack. So you push it to the registers and you pop them, and this register tells you which registers are empty, which ones are not empty. And yeah, we just set it to the wrong number basically, which I don't think has any larger consequences, but yeah,
Got it.
should probably get it right anyway.
Yeah. Thanks for the context. I'll add it to 11 for you. Okay, our next issue is from James on KVM set read the MXCSR value. But it was originally posted by Dora. So Dora, do you maybe have context there?
I don't remember exactly. Oh yeah. I think this has been somehow addressed. I think James just merged a PR yesterday that addressed this. I'm not sure, but
Oh, this one? Or
I think it's yeah. Let me check.
yeah, I think you're right. He says fix is 905. Okay, so this is something that
Yeah.
will be going away soon. I'll send it to James. Confirm it. Okay. All right, 2 more. Our next one is register value and Windows Hyper-V needs a 16 alignment. Has an incorrect alignment of 8.
Yeah, there's something we know about for a while. we haven't had an issue to track it. Causes like can cause weird VM exits in Hyper-V. Like yeah. Should also be addressed by that PR link there.
Nice. Glad to see the unification stuff here is going forward. Okay. And finally, last one is created by GitHub Actions. Oh, I don't think is in the call. It's a nightly muzzle failure. Has anyone seen this one? Seems pretty recent, just 15 hours
Yeah.
ago.
James has a PR out to fix it, I think.
Okay. Oh wow. GitHub Actions added all these tags. Is that new?
It's
That's
pretty
easy.
new. The PR was merged like yesterday or 2 days ago, I think.
Oh, cool. All right, with that, we're done with the needs review items. Next thing we'll probably look at is see if there's anything that doesn't have a milestone. Uh, Looks like a couple of the ones that we just worked on, or we just looked at, and these ones as well. Snapshot performance milestones. So these will be the ones that are these all epics, maybe? It's
Yes.
random.
Yeah.
Okay. So just for context, this is something that we were discussing about creating items that will probably span across multiple milestones and include other issues. Like for example, this one that has multiple sub issues. We've created these bigger items that we can don't necessarily have to move over from one milestone to the next. So maybe we can just group them together in a list of. Oh, we can just add them to tracking. Yeah, that's where we'll add them. So I'll select all, and I'll set it to tracking. Cool. With that, we're good to move on to O3 or to 10.0, which is overdue by 3 days. Okay. And as well, we can go through them one by one. The items that I guess are not assigned to anyone, I'll just auto move them to our next milestone. Then we can go through the other ones to decide what we'll do. Maybe start with the ones that have PRs. So memory leak and guest error, calling host function. Or before we discuss the PRs, I guess it's dependent on when we'll merge the PRs. Is there anything that we would like to make sure goes into this release, or do we want to move forward with the release regardless?
I would like to have the guest tracing improvements added, but it depends on the reviews.
Okay. Same as this one, right? I guess they're
Yeah.
or guest tracing. Yeah. I don't know if Adam or Ludwig do you have any takes on what we should include for this release.
Um, should we just make a release like today or something like that? And or should we wait, right? So I don't think I have anything particular I want in. I could review Doors PR today. Hopefully we could get that one in if it's ready. But I don't have anything.
Okay. Yeah, maybe take a look at other pull requests. I think we have two possible things that are maybe easier to decide on. One, we can get the PRs that are open in, and then we make the release either today or tomorrow, or we just move everything to 11, and so don't merge any PRs, just make the release today. Looking here, see if there's anything you might want to include. A couple PRs have been open a while. Yeah. Well, if there's no, I guess, strong opinions, maybe I like that plan. We can try get guest tracing in. I'll review that today. Uh, Other folks can review as well, and the rest we can move to 11.
Sounds
Sound
good.
good?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Do you want to merge this one too, Adam, or
Well, that's Ludwig's PR, but I bet we can get that in for this release.
okay?
I'll make a priority to review that today.
Sure. Then I'll move these items to 11, and we can just review our upcoming milestone.
Yeah, I discovered today that actually a couple of days ago that the WASM work I was doing to enable debugging for WASM modules got broken up by the memory mapping feature. So I need to
Oh,
modify, the debugging support to look into memory mapped from the host, so that it can correctly work with the JIT debugger that Wasm has. Yeah,
got it.
it took a couple of days of debugging to figure that out.
Got it. Yeah, I guess we'll just move to 11, and then we should have enough time to get that in next time. And that covers what was the debugging I have? Yeah, there it is. So that one should be good to go. Consider adding some kind of poison sandbox to state to prevent sandbox misuse. Is anyone in this call planning to work on this item during this milestone?
I might.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tentatively assign you, and then if priorities change, we can always just move it. The sandbox is allowed syscall. Yes, we mentioned that Simon was looking into this, right? So I'll just assign Simon for now. Anyone looking at the register alignment issue?
Yeah, it's part of my pull request link there.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Crash them feature work within map regions.
Yeah, this is part of the thing that I discovered a couple of days ago. So I think I might take a look at it because it blocks the Wasm debugging.
Got it. Okay. Clean up Hyperlight host public API. Oh, this is something that we've just been sort of improving as we go on, right? I guess maybe it shouldn't be assigned to anyone in particular. In fact, maybe I'll move it to tracking. Does that sound good to everybody? Okay. Implement drop for host resources in the guest. I'll assign this to Lucy to take a look. I remember us discussing this last time. remove host function definition region or host definition function region. One of the two. Something that I can take a look at. I remember doing this in the past. I'll assign myself. Okay, so I think all issues should be assigned to someone, and then the rest would just carry it over. So we can maybe leave it at that. And in here, discussion items, I'll just, oh yeah, someone already mentioned issue triage, which is what we were working on. We have, I think, 8 minutes left on the call. I wanted to have these last 8 minutes as open discussion. If maybe Vinny, you wanted to tell us a little bit more about how you're planning to use Hyperlight, or if there's anything specific that you're looking at. Not to put you on the
Sure.
spot, but just in case you want to. Floor is yours.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. So, a couple of years ago, I started learning Rust, and recently I discovered Hyperlight based on some of the YouTube videos that I was watching. And yeah, I think
Nice.
this project piqued my interest, and considering this project is right now in an early stage, I think that I can learn and contribute to this project. So that was kind of the main motivation for me. If there are any suggestions that any one of you has in terms of getting up to speed on the project, apart from the README, please send me a note. I have also joined the Slack channel, and yeah, I'll just try to attend these meetings regularly and try to absorb as much as possible, and then hopefully make contributions.
Nice. Yeah, thanks for that.
I would suggest doing a debugging session with the guest and the host and see where the execution goes through, and that way you can get an idea of what's going on inside. I can help you set that up if you want.
Okay, sounds good. Can I ping you on Slack
Yeah,
like
sure.
this? Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Dor. Something you can take a look at is in Hyperlight Host. We have examples. We have this guest debugging example that Doro added, and so you can try to run this example. Just a normal thing that you do, write like cargo run example, guest debugging, and with enabling the GDB feature, you can then debug and then step through what's happening in the guest. Like Doro said, it will probably be a good first step to understand how we go from back there. Examples, guest debugging. So sort of how we go from creating an initialized sandbox, understanding what happens in this step, to then registering host functions, to then calling evolve on a multi-use sandbox. This will have the first, it will be the first time that we go into the VM to call our other code, which is the Hyperlight guest code. So Hyperlight guest and Hyperlight bin. That's where you'll see that we'll go. Gets in here. Yeah, you'll see we'll go into the entry point and then eventually make all the way into our specific guests that we have as examples up in tests, Rust guests, simple guest here. And just as I'm saying this, I'm realizing, there's a lot of moving parts and lots of code, and there's really no dumb questions. So whatever you want to ask in Slack, any sort of pain points that you run into, anything you say really will help us make sure that the project is in a better state for, folks to come after you to go in and have a better experience. So whatever trouble you run into will be much appreciated if you could let us know.
Sure. Yeah, thanks for the quick rundown.
Yeah. Like we mentioned before with Adam, we're planning to improve our documentation as well. There's just lots of, code that is not really documented right now. Part of because it's in sort of early stage project. So yeah, whatever we're trying to also figure out, it's hard to know from the inside what needs to be documented. So anything that looks tough, we'll work on documenting.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, so how do you see documentation? What is the better way, having separate files, Markdown or something like that, that explain the how things are developed and how they're working, or do you see them as parts of the code on top of a, for example, above a struct to explain how it's used and why and so on?
I have one suggestion.
Yeah.
Being a new, like I'm also reading the code and I've understood that okay, this is how you create a guest, then it calls a host and it goes through C APIs. So I like there are some functions which I didn't understand at first that what is it doing. So maybe a little, just a small document on top of that function might help, that okay, this function is calling, this function is being used for XYZ functionality, and that might help like when we read code.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, like ideally we have both. The more detailed documentation over like what does this struct do, what does this particular like implementation do, this what does this method do, and then the higher level of like, yeah, but what are we actually like trying to accomplish with this, and like what is the overall design? Um, that's my opinion, at least having both.
I'm asking because I've seen in practice that separate documents go out of sync with the actual code. People tend to forget or something like that.
Yeah, that's fair. We probably have also a lot of outdated documentation on top of functions, to be honest. But something that we can change there is there's actually documentation tests, right? So something we can do a little bit better is make sure we add those. We have a couple, but I think they're all marked as no run, right? I remember seeing that at some point. Is that not the attribute? I know there's a couple of documentation tests that we have where we marked them there they should not run, and then that's just a recipe for them to become outdated. So something we could change. Cool. With that, I think we are approaching time. Any final notes or PSAs?
Yeah, I have a PR open. I haven't had time to work on it lately. I will, maybe today or tomorrow I'll come finish it and uh, put everything that was required. I think my tests are not there, and James pointed out something which I was testing. I have one more question. How do you test it on your local machine? Like I have a MacBook, and it doesn't run KVM or MSHV. So and AWS machines are very expensive. C5 metal machines. Do you just push PRs on GitHub and then test, or how do you do it?
Yeah. Well, we currently don't have macOS support. It's something that's been requested, and it is something we're planning to add, but we just haven't had the cycles to work on it yet. So, as is right now, you can't test on a macOS machine locally.
Okay, I'll I'll find a machine for myself.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's incoming sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for the PR. We'll make sure to have a look. Uh,
I'll make sure I'll finish those tests.
cool. And Vinny, if you're looking for first issue to take a look at, we have a couple of things marked as good first issue that you might want to have a look at. I think this one is the one that Shanice you're working on, right?
Yes, the last one. Yes.
Yeah. But if none of these sort of spark your interest, make sure to just maybe ask in the Slack. I'm sure we can find something else to have a look while you get into the project.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. With that, I think we can close for today. Thank you everyone for coming, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.